What's an underrated movie that profoundly affected you? Secondhand Lions. One of my all-time favorite movies. Brief synopsis: WO spoilers to elderly brother's life on a small ranch in Texas, and got a crap ton of money from swindling an Arab sheik during World War I. Off her emasculate son to life with them. And the son learns more about the old brothers, and convinces them to start spending their massive hoard of money, which leads them down episodic shenanigans. All-out great movie. 10/10. Only yesterday. I love every Ghibli film, but this one hit different in that it felt relatable as an adult. Since this is directed by Takahata, don't expect action and wild adventures typical of Miyazaki's films. It would be more apt to call it a calm and grounded reflection on living as a person tries to make sense of their childhood as an adult. It's a shame I don't hear anyone talk about it more. It's just a beautiful film all around, and I highly recommend you check it out. Mr. Nobody. It's my favorite. It's about the choices you make and the impact they have on your life. The main character is narrating 3 different lives he led as he's on his deathbed. As a viewer, you can't tell which one he lived, if he even lived them at all. Plot twists. Complex movie. So well thought out and remarkable philosophy. I don't know how it's not more popular. It certainly deserves much more recognition. The ghostwriter, sure. It won a bunch of awards, has an all-star cast, and was directed by Polanski. But you never hear anyone talk about it. And in the same vein, Frantic, with Harrison Ford, also directed by Polanski. The dude may be a real piece of shit, but he knows how to make a thriller. Both movies are so bleak. I love it. A Perfect Day. It's a tragicomedy about the consequences of war and human conflict. Doing the right thing isn't always easy, and sometimes it is insanely difficult for reasons that are basic and absurd, like having trouble finding a piece of rope. I recommend it to anyone 16 and over. I got to The Believer 2001. Damn good. And the ending stuck with me in a way that I think about from time to time. Mean Creek 2004. I genuinely thought this was some kind of comedy based off the clips of this movie I saw of Josh Peck. Well, it really wasn't. The Legend of Billy Zhang. I have never identified so strongly with a main character. Which is weird because I'm a guy in my 30s, and she's a 16-year-old girl. But she is the closest to a literally me character that I've ever seen. Kung Pao taught me a lot about discipline and grit. Wee-oo. Another movie would be Grandma's Boy. It taught me to never act like a robot if you want to actually have a social life. The Wine That Shakes the Barley. I saw it while homesick from school over a decade ago. Prior to that, I'd never been exposed to any Irish history nor to Cillian Murphy. Cloud Atlas often flies under the radar, but its intricate tapestry of stories spanning centuries really makes you ponder the ripple effects of actions across time. Break. It was one of the first independent films I watched when I was first diving headfirst into film and film studies. It's such a good movie. Adam Sandler's Click. I thought it was just a dumb comedy, but I've cherished time with loved ones much more ever since watching this movie. The Page Master. I love books, but it really just fueled my love for reading even more. I think about that movie all the time actually. Memento ... I don't know why, but I've rewatched it every few years for the last couple of decades. Maybe it's just my favorite movie. Flipped. Nobody I know has even heard about this movie, but it moves my heart every single time. It's a coming-of-age romance. Interstate 60. Man, I love that movie. Bunch of fun cameos, and lots of metaphysical content presented in a fun way. I love The Love Witch because its aesthetic is very cool, and it handled feminism in an interesting way. Gerald's Game. Make sure your heart is healthy before handcuffing your SO to a bed. Robot Frank. I don't know anyone else other than my husband who has seen it. Swingers. It helped me realize that I was so money and didn't even know it. Lucky. The John Carroll Lynch film from 2017. So underrated. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty sparked a journey within. Click with Adam Sandler was the first movie to make me cry.